Hello everybody and welcome to another video, and today we're going to be looking at a band called Kvaen. Kvaen? I'm not sure how it's pronounced. I think it's Kvaen. Kvaen? I'm not sure. Anyway, having not heard of them before, and there is a good reason for that in a second, I had to do a little bit of research. I really couldn't find very much, unfortunately, but I did find a little something. And what I found is Kvaen is a solo project by Jacob Bjornfot, formerly of The Duskfall and The Devil's Force, or I say formerly of, he might still be part of that, I don't know. And they are a black speed metal band with pagan/Viking metal influences. That's very, very interesting. And the track we're going to be looking at is a track called The Funeral Pyre, which comes off their debut album, The Funeral Pyre, which will be out I've had two different dates coming out here. One says it's late 2019, and another one says it's February 28th, 2020. I'm more inclined to go with the February 2021 because that's what it says on the Bandcamp page, so we'll see. The album will feature some great musicians from the business, such as Pyre from Destroyer 666, which is a band I've actually played alongside of about 7 years ago. And he will be on drums, and Sebastian Ramstedt from Necrophobic doing guitar solos, and there are other musicians involved as well. So yeah, I will put a link below to where you can pre-order the album should you be interested in it. So black speed metal with pagan Viking influences. It sounds quite interesting. Jacob was very generous to provide me with some lyrics, so I will be able to look through that and see if we can discuss the themes behind the song. So I think without any further ado, we shall jump straight into the track and see what we have. So, The Funeral Pyre by Kvaen. I think I'm pronouncing that right. Well, there we go. I really, really enjoyed that, and anybody who's watched this channel for a fair amount of times know that I'm very particular about the black metal that I listen to. You know, I'm very, very picky when it comes to black metal. But that was really, really good. I really enjoyed that. The sound throughout that song was just, there was a really big sort of grand sound to it, like that sort of. There was almost a sort of like, I can't explain it. There was just a really grand sound behind it, and it sounded very, very, very interesting. Unlike black metal that I think I've heard before, you know, when it says black speed metal with pagan Viking metal influences, you can sort of hear that because of the way, you know, it's different from a lot of black metal. But at the same time, there are some what I would call typical black metal elements in there, like a lot of black metal guitar riffs are a little bit simplistic in a way. You know, there's not overly complicated riffs. They're sort of like long, consistent sounding riffs. You know, there's not really much fiddly diddly bit. But that being said, there was also a lot of melodics, a lot of fiddly diddly riffs as well. So you know, it was very, very interesting, and I very much enjoyed that. And you know, like I said, black metal very hit and miss for me, can be. Because I've got those three stages of the black metal. There's the bathroom black metal where it sounds like the vocalist is recording in the next door neighbour's toilet whilst the drummer's sitting in the loft and you're recording in the downstairs, you know. And then you've got the really sort of good. I'm not going to say middle of the road, but the good black metal, the well produced stuff. And then you've got the hideously overly produced black metal, which is just like, it sort of loses all the aspect of black metal, and this is right in the middle. It sounds really, really good, and it's very, very, very impressive. The vocal performance was fantastic, and you know there was a little bit of a variation in the middle of the song, and it wasn't necessarily singing; it was more of a spoken part, which was a little bit quiet, but that might have just been my headphones. But yes, it was a good song, and the song itself seems to be talking about, well, the song is called "The Funeral Pyre," and it seems to be talking about approaching death, possibly even making a sacrifice for like the gods or something to appease them, to help them in some way or other, or he knows his death is coming and is welcoming it with open arms, and going that I'm on my way to my final resting place, light the funeral pyre, and I will proceed. Because the song goes, "A fire shall burn on a starless night, where the dead and alive unite in a choir. The forest sleeps in the dead of night, awaiting for the dawn to arise. God of fire, God of death, what is the path to enlightenment? Take me down the road where no man has been. There's a fire inside, brighter than the sun. God of fire, God of death, show me the path to enlightenment. If you require a sacrifice, then I will provide and leave this world behind." So, in a way, it sounds more like he wants to know more. He wants to know what's going on in the afterlife. You know, he says there, the opening lines: "A fire shall burn on a starless night, with the dead and alive unite in a choir." So, you know, it's like the dead being celebrated by those alive and sort of uniting as one in a sort of, can't think of the word I'm looking for, a ritual of some sort. And there's those bits there: God of fire, God of death, what is the path to enlightenment? You know, in what way can I learn more about the state of the universe? You know, take me down the road where no man has been. You know, take me where no one's ever been before. No living man can actually, you know, there's no one who's been down this road who can actually talk about it. You know, whether that's the road to death or, you know, learning more about the universe. You know, no one else has ever. Tell me things no one else knows. There's a fire inside, brighter than the sun. So it's like that sort of burning for knowledge, wanting to know more, the need to know more. And then there's that other line: "If you require a sacrifice, then I will provide and leave this world behind." So it's like, if I have to die to find out what is in the afterlife, then so be it. I will gladly do that because I need to know. That's what it seems like. And then came that sort of spoken section, you know, it's still done in a, I'm not going to, in a typical black metal voice, but not necessarily. It was more spoken. It was quite quiet, but again, that might have just been my headphones. The volumes might not be set properly. It said, God of flame and shadow, spread your disease upon those who deny you. Dance with the fire and embrace the kiss of death. Hear the words beyond the void, play ever dissonant chord. Beautiful in colour as in tone. And then it carried on. I have seen my death before these eyes. I have seen the end of this world. Light the torch and sound the bell, for I am on my way. So, you know, he's possibly had visions of, you know, he's seen his death. He knows his death is coming. And he's seen what's going to happen to the world, etc. And, you know, that this could actually be... Well, I don't know. And then it went back into the... We'll call it a chorus because it gets repeated. It says, God of fire, God of death, what is the path to enlightenment? Take me down the road where no man has been. There's a fire inside, brighter than the sun. God of fire, God of death, show me the path to enlightenment. If you require a sacrifice, then I will provide and leave this world behind. And then it went, I set my sail to a world unknown, towards the southern shores, towards eternal death. We were born and we died together on the funeral pyre. So that last bit that I set my sail to a world unknown is obviously, well, it seems to me to suggest, you know, he has now sacrificed himself or died and been set upon this funeral pyre. So now he set sails for a world unknown, so the afterlife essentially, you know, towards the southern shores, towards eternal death. You know, so you know the life beyond life, as it were. I like the way the song was written. I like the wording of it. Quite interesting. And like I said, the actual track itself was fantastic. The music was phenomenal. You know, the vocal performances, the fact that this is a solo project is very, very impressive. You know, he's obviously written all this music himself. Or that's what I'm assuming. He's written all this music himself, so very, very talented individual. And he's got these other musicians to come in to perform the album, you know, to record it. It's very, very impressive, and it sounds brilliant. It is a very, very good piece of music. Very, 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 very much like that. I'll have to check out the album when it comes out, which, as I said, is February 28th, 2020, according to the Bandcamp page. And as I said earlier, I will put a link down below so you can go and pre-order the album should you be interested. But yeah, really, really good. It's rare for me to enjoy a piece of black metal that much. It does happen, but not often. But yeah, that was very, very good. Very, very enjoyable. I liked that a lot. Very interesting. But I'm going to leave that as it is. If anybody would like to suggest a track for me to react to, then please do so. By all means, you could drop a comment in the comment section below, or message me on my Facebook or my Instagram, or you could even message me through my Patreon, where you could also help to support this channel. And having recently added a extra tier onto my Patreon, where for a small fee you can actually get a suggested song rushed to the front of the list. You are, however, restricted to that once a month, to be fair to other people who might be requesting songs either through Patreon or through other means. Because you could just bombard me with a whole hell load of tracks and they would all get done and nobody else would get a look in. So, you know, just to be fair, you get one a month. If more than one person does go through the Patreon route of requesting a song, they will be done in order that they are suggested to me. If you request this track through usual means, there is a chance it will take me a while to get around to it, since I get suggested so many tracks every single day that you know, my list grows faster than I can record them. But I do write down every suggestion I get, so it will get done eventually. It's just going to take me a while to get around to it. Also, Metalhead Reacts is a proud supporter of the Sophie Lancaster Foundation, a British-based charity whose main goal is to put an end to hate crimes, mainly those aimed towards people of the alternative culture. And it's something I believe in very, very strongly, something I'm very, very passionate about, because, you know, it's something I myself have been through, many of my friends have been through, some of my family have been through it, and I'm sure some of you watching have also been through this, where people are getting violently attacked just purely because they listen to alternative music. It's utterly ridiculous. I've had some people tell me, oh, that's not a hate crime. Well, it is. The very definition of a hate crime is being attacked, violently or otherwise, because someone doesn't like something about you. They hate something that you stand for, whether it's your religion or whether it's your gender or whether it's your sexual preference. If someone is attacking you because they hate something about you, because they don't agree with something about you, that is a hate crime. And if someone is attacking you because they hate the music you're listening to, they don't agree with the music you're listening to, etc., etc., that is classified as a hate crime. And like all other hate crimes, it's one of these things, it makes no sense. You know, why do you feel the need to violently attack someone just because you don't like their music? You know, what effect does it have on your life, really? You know, it doesn't have any effect, really, does it? You know, so why bother? You know, it doesn't achieve anything, and all you're going to do is end up getting yourself in trouble. You know, just attacking someone because they like different music. You're not going to change their mind. They're not going to suddenly go, oh, do you know what? I'm going to listen to pop music and start wearing tracksuits and crap like that. You know, it's not going to happen. So, you know, what is the purpose at the end of the day? And do you know what the main purpose is? Is they want to show off in front of their mates. That's what it is. They want to look big, they want to look hard, they want to look clever in front of their mates. It's like, ha ha ha, I just beat up a Mosher. Why? Because they're like goths, aren't they? You know, they like listen to music about the devil and stuff like that. Hold on. No, we don't. In fact, a vast majority of the music that we listen to has a much deeper meaning than anything you listen to. All the music you're listening to is talking about bitches, hoes, and popping caps in asses. A lot of the music that I react to on this channel talks about the state of the earth, talks about ancestors, talks about, you know, things that really matter to them. You very rarely come across metal music where they're talking about sacrificing virgins or, you know, butchering people. Yes, there are some tracks like that, sure. But you tend to find a lot of metal music is a lot deeper than people give it credit for. But anyway, I'm going off topic. But, you know, and it bothers me that this subject doesn't get talked about. It doesn't get talked about nearly enough. You know, the last time anything widespread was said about somebody of the alternative community getting attacked was when Sophie Lancaster was violently attacked and subsequently killed because of her taste in music, and that was about 12 years ago. You know, her and her boyfriend, Rob Maltby, walking home, minding their own business, set up by a group of 5 or 6 people. 5 or 6 people against these 2 people. And they were violently attacked, stamped on, kicked, punched, so severely that they both ended up in a coma. Now, Rob Maltby, he thankfully survived. He was in a coma for about a week or so, I can't remember exactly. Sophie Lancaster was in coma for 13 days before she eventually succumbed to her injuries. You know, this girl was violently attacked. She was beaten to death just because of her taste in music. It is unacceptable. But that's the last time there was widespread coverage of the fact that this is happening. And it's just purely because there was a tragedy. Now, I can guarantee, in the 12 years since that happened, hundreds if not thousands of other people of the alternative community have been violently attacked in similar manner. You know, some of them have probably ended up in hospital. Some of them have probably ended up with broken bones. But nothing's been said, but I can guarantee you it's happened. And nothing gets said about it because there's no tragedy involved. Yet, we've got these other hate crimes going around like racism, sexism, homophobia, transphobia. Even the... I don't want to say smallest because that makes it sound like I don't think they're worthwhile. You know, but even the tamest of these... like offences, like entitled Karen calling the police on somebody of colour because they're having a picnic in a public place, you know, things like that get spoken about. You know, no one really gets hurt. It's still an abhorrent thing to do, you know, to be that racist that you think somebody of colour cannot have a picnic in a public place. You know, it's a terrible thing. But, you know, no one essentially gets hurt, you know, no one is hospitalised, no one is, like, beaten or attacked. Yet, there are these people of the alternative community that are getting violently attacked, getting hospitalised, getting bones broken, and nothing's getting said, and that needs to change. We need to bring more attention to this. So people, you know, we need to raise awareness of the fact that this is happening, so people will know that there are consequences, and they will face the consequences of their actions. You know, just attacking someone because they're tasting music is stupid. You know, you don't attack someone because they like a different TV show to you, do you? So why bother with when it comes to music? It's ridiculous. And the thing is, this is what the Sophie Lancaster Foundation is all about. They want to bring more attention to the fact that this is happening. You know, they don't want to see another family go through what they went through when they had to watch their daughter die. They don't want another situation to arise like what happened to Sophie Lancaster. They don't want that to happen again. It should never have happened in the first place. You know, and they want to bring the awareness that this is happening and put a stop to it. And I think it is very much worthwhile. It is very necessary, because it needs to change. If you'd like to find out more about the Sophie Lancaster Foundation, there is a link to their website in the description below. You can go over there, find out what they're working on at the moment, find out what their main goal is, because they can explain it a lot better than I can. And if you can help them out in any way, I mean, obviously, don't feel obligated to do so, but if you can help them in any way, you know, even if it's a very small donation through their website, or even something as simple as one of these Sophie wristbands from their web store, you know, if you can help in any way, it's greatly appreciated. The smallest amount can help make the biggest difference, and the sooner we bring more attention to this, the sooner we can help to stamp out prejudice, hatred, and intolerance everywhere. But I'm going to leave that as it is for the time being. Thank you all very, very much for watching, and I'll see you again soon.